Welcome back, guys, to another video. And as the title says, we have some opportunities for under $400,000, but they aren't exactly houses, right? If there was a house for under 400K in the capital city, I would be happy to buy that with cash myself. But regardless, there are some opportunities that I think are worth noting and showcasing you guys just to see what's out there in the market, what is possible if you are in a very tight borrowing capacity or you have a very limited budget and you have a lower risk appetite. And obviously, for those who don't know, Melbourne does have some extremely cheap units that do have some potential for future growth. And as we know, units are typically not good for capital growth, but some of these units that I'm about to show you, two particular examples, generally have some inherent value by being so cheap and below replacement cost. For example, we have this property here on 1/20 Kingsville Street in Victoria. The price guide is around $320,000 to $352,000. As you can see, it's a 2x1 red brick unit in Kingsville. It is quite close to Melbourne CBD, surrounded by Footscray, Yarraville, etc. In a nice little location. It is surrounded by other units, so there is definitely some supply issues there. But as you can see, this one is in a nice little block with only a couple of units compared to much of the high-rise buildings you see in the heart of Melbourne CBD. And something like this is being sold for $352,000. You can see the interior is in pretty good condition. There is still some renovation potential from the bathroom and the toilet perspective, as well as the kitchen itself, where you can really add some serious equity to a property like this. And if you had a limited budget, these are the typical type of units you could actually go for in terms of a good cash flowing asset, as well as one property that has some inherent value. And you can see an asset like this, when you look at the rental properties in Kingsville, will rent you about $430, $450 for a 2x1. This one's $420, $430. This one is $345 because it's 1x1, another $400. So when you put these numbers into a property calculator, with $352,000 on a 20% deposit, you only need about $100,000. On a 12% deposit, you only need about 70 odd K. But really, with 12% deposit, it is pretty cheap. Even with the 20% deposit, it is still relatively affordable to get. And with the rental income of around $450 to $430 per week, you're sitting on a yield of about 6.4%, which is generally better than most yields that you can get in most houses across Australia. Yes, there's going to be some examples across in Darwin and Queensland with very, very high yields, but generally when you're looking at New South Wales, Victoria, they have the lower yields and units generally will yield better. And usually most expenses are the same. However, with units, you will have the higher body corp rates and they are usually pretty expensive. So I've just put here 4K. I don't know the actual amount, but usually 3 to 6K is generally what you find in terms of body corporate per year for a property like this. And that will give you a net profit of about negative $10,000 per year or negative $1,000 per month or so, which after tax consideration is only about negative $500 per month. So to buy and hold an asset like this for $500 per month isn't really bad at all. In fact, it's quite affordable to do. And that's accounting for expenses like repairs and maintenance, property management, water rates, etc., and more and more. And so something like this is quite good, and it has a lot of opportunity that you guys consider. Now, of course, capital growth is never going to be as good as a house. However, when you're buying an asset under market value as well as below its inherent replacement value, it has a good opportunity for investors to consider if you are on a limited budget. But if you had 500K, I would rather go invest that in a house somewhere. But if you're sitting between that 350 to 400K mark as your absolute budget, this could be a plausible option for you. And yes, I know there's going to be some commenter out there that's saying, oh, I could buy a house in a small mining town for 350K and it's positively geared. That's up to you. I'm just showing you what's possible if you have a limited budget in a capital city for a unit that you want to purchase. That's one example. And I do want to show you one more example. But just before I do that, if you guys haven't already, jump into the private community. We have over 300 members helping each other out, picking the right locations to invest into, picking the right type of assets to invest into. And there is so much more. You get personalized mentorship, one-to-one questions and answers. You get deal vetting. You get access to the suburb watch list that is released every single month. And there is so much information available in the community that is an absolute no-brainer for you guys to jump in, join, and share information and get the help that you need. Because when you're buying a $500,000 to $1 million asset, you don't want to be making the wrong decision, and you don't need to be paying $15,000 to a buyer's agent or paying a $20,000 course to get good investment understandings and fundamentals, right? So if you guys have any questions, make sure you jump into the private community and let's get back into the video. Now, there's also one more example I wanted to show you guys, and that's this one, 4/10 Newstead Street in Maribyrnong in Victoria, 3032, another 2x1. I would never buy a 1x1 property. They generally find they're usually quite hard to sell, but a 2x1 is on the easier side. And something like this is being sold for $369,000. And once again, it is a small brick unit, 2x1, very well renovated. I mean, I generally like to find unrenovated property so I can add equity in the property, but this is still an example of a good low maintenance asset that you can purchase and hold for a very, very long time. It is quite unique when you look at the location of the property. It's located relatively close to main road, but on a quiet residential pocket. So great transport aspects. It's next to the park reserve, as well as near shopping centers and malls, which is a really, really good sign to see. And this one is a much better located property in terms of not being surrounded by too many other unit blocks itself. I must say though, whoever has this piece of land is sitting on an absolute gold mine. But regardless, this property has a lot of inherent value being purchased at such a low rate. And when you look at the rental properties available, so 2x1 in Maribyrnong is around $550 per week, $570, that's a 2x2, $500 per week, 2x1, $495, $460. So around that $500 mark is where I would say this property would sit at. And so when you put the numbers into the property portfolio spreadsheet, $369,000 at a 20% deposit, about $100,000, $500 per week is going to yield you about 7%, which is very, very high, and it will help you with your overall borrowing capacity and keep your property portfolio very, very scalable. And realistically, that's only about negative $350 per month after tax consideration and depreciation benefits. So a purchasing asset like this, if you are on a very tight budget and you don't want to go to some very small regional town or location, this is something that you could possibly consider. Once again, capital growth is very limited compared to a house. You're not going to get the numbers that you would expect. That this is an asset that does still grow over time. The growth rate isn't very good, but it still grows. And you can add this asset to your portfolio in a very strategic way if you have a limited budget, right? And by the way, I also want to make another side point to this as well. There's a lot of people who struggle to buy a property, not even from an investment perspective, but from a principal place of residence. Buying an asset, if you're a two-income household, for $360,000 is so damn cheap, by the way. It costs basically nothing, and you can pay off this thing very, very easily. And even from another perspective, if you are using the first home buyer scheme and you don't have any stamp duty to pay on it, and you're paying a 10% or 12% deposit, you only need about $50,000 or $55,000 to get into an asset like this. So it is super, super, super cheap to purchase and pay off an asset like this. So depending on your strategy, this could be a really, really good asset that you can purchase at this point in time. Now, of course, do your own due diligence, make sure you are buying the right type of asset that fits your portfolio and your strategy. But these type of properties can be a decent addition to your portfolio in specific circumstances. If you have a $500 to $600K budget, this is not something I would purchase. If you have even $450, I would even question it. But if you have below $400K and you don't want to go to regional locations and buy townhouses or etc., then this is something you could possibly look at. Of course, I'm always for houses over units, but if you're buying a specific unit, always look low density blocks, red brick units, not many blocks, not many units around it. This is the type of asset you want to go for. For example, right, I wouldn't be going to purchase, one of these massive high-rise buildings here that's been sold constantly for 40, for 10, because there's just so much competition for properties like this. There's no point buying an asset here because there's just so much supply, not only when you want to sell the property, but also when you want to rent out the property. There's a lot of investors who purchase into blocks like this because they're being sold by financial advisors, buyers, agents, etc. It is a terrible idea in my opinion. Not only is it hard to sell and rent out in the short term, it doesn't really grow in value. And then you also have the pools, the gyms, the spas, etc., amenities, which all add to huge strata costs. And strata in these buildings cost anywhere from like 6 to 10K per year. It's absolutely ridiculous. You really need to be careful. Don't trust people who push these sort of units to you guys, right? It is not a smart decision in my opinion. Stick to red brick, low density buildings like this one or this one, and make sure it aligns with your strategy. It is not a suitable investment for everyone, but it can fit a certain budget, risk appetite, and strategy. Till next time, thank you very much. If you need help, jump at the community. We will help you out.